What's up, guys? My name's Last Resort. I'm here to do the news today. Trevor and Eric are both dead. You're stuck with me now.
Welcome to Alley Ridge, your tech news, Monday through Friday. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon to stay up to date with all your tech news and more.
No, all jokes aside, my name's Liam. I got a call today. They wanted me to do the news today, so here we are. We're gonna start off today by talking about Elon Musk and how he is taking he's taking Tesla private, which is actually really interesting because when companies do that, especially a major one like Tesla, it raises a lot of feathers, which is really interesting because when big companies do that, it's a big deal. And usually there are meetings that happen and people are talked to, shareholders are informed. But no, Elon Musk decided that he was just gonna tweet about it, which is something that he likes to do a lot. Elon Musk is probably one of my favorite people just for how erratic he is. Like if you look at how he sold flamethrowers, he shot his car into space, then did a live feed of it, then got in trouble with NASA supposedly. And it's just interesting watching how like a madman with money, watching what a madman with money does. Now, what is also interesting about all of Elon Musk taking the company private is that he might not actually be allowed to do that. The SEC has actually been looking into his statements that he made on Twitter. There's actually a rule basically saying that you can't just say meaningful happenings within the company. Under US laws, companies and corporate officers can't give shareholders misleading information about meaningful company events. The Wall Street Journal reported that. Then he said Mr. Musk could also be in trouble if regulators develop evidence that he made a statement aimed at goosing his company's share price. Basically meaning that he intentionally said something to lower the value of his company, which means there'd be less of a payout if he takes a company private. Now, what makes this even more interesting is that over the weekend, there was also reports of the music artist Azalea Banks being at Elon Musk's house because he was collaborating with, this is still one of the most ridiculous things that I know that has happened. He was collaborating with Elon Musk's girlfriend, who is known as Grimes, and if you look at her, she's literally the definition of a goth girlfriend. But according to Azalea Banks, she said that being at the Musk household was like being in a real-life version of Get Out. She was saying that Grimes barely talked to her over the weekend because she was constantly tending to Elon Musk, or this might not be the exact quote, but couldn't handle being on Twitter and on acid at the same time. Now, what makes that interesting is that if, like I said earlier, Elon Musk does tons of erratic things and seems like he's on drugs all the time, if what Azalea Banks is saying is true, that means Elon Musk is doing all of this stuff while he's on drugs that means Elon Musk is doing all of this stuff while he's on drugs, and it would explain a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, the flamethrowers, shooting your car into space, cops running by the studio. Like, Elon Musk is the definition of a madman with money, and honestly, I love it, and I want to see what other crazy stuff he does throughout, like, the next couple years. Because you know it's just going to get weirder from here, especially if the dude's dropping acid. Now, one caveat with the Azalea Banks statements, though, is that she has been known to say controversial things before that wound up not being true, so take all of this with a grain of salt. Moving on, so last week on the first show that we did, we talked about Alex Jones and how he was being banned from Facebook, iTunes, and a whole other plethora of streaming services and other services in general from posting and stuff like that. What was interesting though is there was one company out of like all the big social media companies that hadn't dropped him yet, and that was Twitter. However, that being said, today, Twitter actually just suspended Alex Jones' Twitter account. Twitter actually suspended Alex Jones' personal Twitter account. The InfoWars Twitter account is still active, so if you want to be up to date with all your conspiracy theories, you can still get them. You just can't get them from the man himself, Alex Jones. But what makes that even more entertaining though, is that Alex Jones was directing all of his followers to Tumblr, which is ridiculous because the people on Tumblr are all the people that Alex Jones constantly like yells about. That's where like all the the quote unquote liberal snowflakes are.
I have a Tumblr.
That makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
By no means do I agree with the things Alex Jones says. He says a lot of controversial things and a lot of ridiculous things, and probably, to be honest, a lot of offensive things. I just think it's interesting that all the social media websites are choosing now to ban him, and they all did it at the same time. Could be potentially scary because now we're setting a precedent for social media companies to just ban you if they don't like something that you're saying, if it goes like it's close to like going against your privacy or not your privacy policies, but your terms, your website terms. I think it's a slippery slope, if I'm being completely honest about it. So then our final news story for today is about how YouTube got criticized for running an ad for a movie called The Nun that was giving a lot of people anxiety. If you've seen this ad, it's a 6-second ad that's unskippable, which is the big thing. That basically it's the volume of like a MacBook being turned down and then being muted, and then just, I guess, a demonic nun, which is entertaining in itself, basically just jumping out at you and doing a jump scare. Now, what's interesting about this is that bait and switch videos on YouTube are really nothing new. All you have to do is look at I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Something, something from every other guy. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around, desert you. I'm gonna regret including that because that's gonna get used against me, just like Erik dancing is gonna be used against him. If you get anxiety easily, turn away now. It's really nothing all that scary. It's just a jump scare. But according to YouTube, that goes against their ad policy. Like, you can't run ads that are like upsetting to someone. Like, it is upsetting. But what I think is interesting about that is just like we're getting more and more just like into this, like, we can't upset anybody ever, when the whole point of a horror movie is to be upsetting. And honestly, by YouTube taking a stance against it and taking the ad down, which is what happened, I don't know if I mentioned that. They took the ad down, they're just giving the thing more attention. Now there's more attention on it. So really, I guess, if you think about it, the ad worked. Because I didn't know about the movie The Nun until today because I read about it on the news. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Might be back, might not be, who knows, they'll probably kill me. And thanks guys for watching. If you liked the video, give us a like. If you liked me, give us a like. If you disliked me, give us a like. And you can subscribe down below and be sure to hit that bell because, you know, that's basically more important than subscribing now. Have a great day, guys. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Something, something from every other guy. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around, desert you.